Last week we heard about what happened after Easter. Jesus had come back to life and was talking to his disciples, his friends. Then he went up into heaven. His friends were happy they'd seen him again, but also a bit sad that he had gone. Jesus had told them that something very special was going to happen, but they needed to wait for it. Do you like waiting? When do you have to wait? Maybe sometimes you have to wait in a queue. Maybe it's waiting for your turn in a game. Maybe it's waiting for your dinner. Or maybe it's waiting for something like a birthday. How do you feel when you're waiting for something? Jesus had told his friends that they had to wait. Like us, they probably found it hard to wait. Behind these colour blocks, there's a picture that's something to do with the story we're going to hear today. Watch as the picture is slowly revealed and see if you can work out what it is. Now you've seen the picture, let's find out what happens in the story.
Hi there. What's the most amazing thing that has ever happened to you? How did you feel? Were you excited or a little afraid? Who was with you? The next part of our Bible Quest adventure is a really exciting story, and it took place during the Jewish Harvest Festival of Pentecost.
When the day of Pentecost came, Jesus' friends were all together in one place. Suddenly a noise came from heaven. It sounded like a strong wind blowing. This noise filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw something that looked like flames of fire. The flames were separated and stood over each person there. They were all filled with the Holy Spirit, and they began to speak different languages. The Holy Spirit was giving them the power to speak these languages. There were some religious Jews staying in Jerusalem who were from every country in the world. When they heard this noise, a crowd came to see what was happening. They were all surprised, because each one heard the disciples speaking in his or her own language. They were completely amazed at this, and they asked each other, "What does this mean?" But others were making fun of them, saying, "They have had too much wine." Peter stood up with the 11 apostles. In a loud voice he spoke to the crowd. "My fellow Jews, and all of you who are in Jerusalem, listen to me. Pay attention to what I have to say. These people are not drunk, as you think. It is only 9 o'clock in the morning. In fact, it is what Joel the prophet wrote all those years ago. It is happening here today. God says, in the last days I will give my spirit freely to all kinds of people." Peter went on to teach all about Jesus and the things he had done. He also spoke about the importance of following God's ways for living. Then about 3,000 people accepted what Peter said and were baptized. They spent their time learning the apostles' teaching, and they continued to share what they had together, to break bread and to pray together. Each day more and more people began to follow Jesus.
This is an amazing story, isn't it? Imagine what it was like to have been there when the Holy Spirit landed on each of Jesus' followers. Did you know that Christians now celebrate Pentecost as not only the time when the Holy Spirit came, but also as the birthday of the church?
Here's your tasks for today. If you're in reception, think about a time when you had to wait. How did it feel? You could create a picture of the friends of Jesus at Pentecost when the Holy Spirit came to them and it looked like flames on their head. If you're in year 1 or year 2, you can create a picture of Pentecost showing the flames on the disciples' heads. How do you think they felt? Try and write a few questions you think the disciples might have asked as well.